You may want to avoid the beaches in the city, as all 10 have been deemed unsafe to swim because of high E. coli levels. After the torrential downpour on Tuesday, all supervised public beaches in the city have been given red flag status. The city says the beach water is unsafe for 48 hours after a rainfall because high levels of bacteria could pose a risk to public health. Swimming in waters with E. coli could lead to an increased risk of ear, eye, nose, throat, and skin infections. A North York food bank is asking for the public's help after suffering significant damage from Tuesday's flooding. The food bank is estimating that the damages could cost as much as $50,000. The damage includes flooded loading bays, a broken freezer, significant water damage, and the loss of a large amount of food intended for the community.
Good afternoon. Hope everyone's having a great Thursday so far. Weather, well, it's cooler out there. If you don't like the heat, the humidity, certainly more comfortable. And of course, we keep tracking any potential rain, and that's certainly not going to be the case across southern Ontario. Some rain farther north into northeastern Ontario, some showers, but it's going to stay dry, and it is going to be cooler than it has been of late. In fact, below average temperatures. Expect a northwesterly breeze, 20 to 40 kilometers per hour. Should mention Montreal, and not going to be quite as humid today either. As we take a look at those daytime highs, near 23 today with a sun cloud mix. We're near 22, 23 degrees as we head through southern Ontario, and that will be with reduced humidex values that have been in the mid to high 30s at times over the last few days. So here's a look at your forecast conditions. Even some comfortable sleeping weather overnight with clear skies, some cloud cover this afternoon. Coming up, I'll let you know what to expect for this upcoming weekend. Your full forecast details are just ahead.
In an apparent act of intimidation,
well, with all that warmth and humidity and wet weather we've had over this summer, a change today. Certainly when it comes to the humidex values and the temperatures, actually a little cooler than average as we take a look at your forecast conditions. Now, I think we'll actually get above 21, like 22, 23 degrees for most areas this afternoon. Some cloud cover rolling in, and then we clear out through the overnight, and it is cooler than it has been through the overnight as well, so some comfortable sleeping weather expected. Let's take a look at the upper level pattern, because this tells the story from a meteorological perspective. Out west, see that heat dome, the ridge in this jet stream rising well to the north, that is locking in the heat across the west, whereas we have a dip, a trough. Cooler air has arrived. You certainly feel that, and it's going to stick around. Although temperatures will start to rise this weekend, we're not going to see those humidex values get to uncomfortable levels. So we've had a cold front push through, still some heavier bands of rain around the Maritimes today, but around Toronto, Peterborough, in through Montreal. Just some cloud cover at times this afternoon, plenty of sunshine on Friday, Saturday. It's late Saturday into early Sunday as a front pushes through. It could provide a few scattered showers east of Georgian Bay towards the Peterborough area, in through Montreal. That'll be Saturday night into Sunday morning, but it will not be long-lived, and many areas will likely stay dry. Okay, so let's take a look at how things unfold heading into the weekend. Mid-20s on Friday, 27 on Saturday, 26 on Sunday. So temperatures do rise closer to average. Those humidex values will likely stay in the low 30s, so not expecting that to rise up. And then we'll have to watch out next week for more unsettled weather. The chance of showers Monday, and could be some showers and thunderstorms by mid-next week. For Montreal, beautiful day as well on Friday, 26, 28 on Sunday, so temperatures do rise. A little cooler in the wake of that front that I showed you on Sunday, mid-20s expected. 26 on Monday, and then it looks like temperatures do rise back up to the high 20s into Tuesday, and we are looking out for some showers by mid to late next week around Montreal. Enjoy the day today and enjoy this fabulous weekend on the way. And that's a look at your forecast.
Great, thanks, Ross. Well, that's our show
Tonight over the now closed Ontario Science Centre. It was shut down in part due to concerns about a possible roof collapse if there was significant rain or snow. But it survived this week's torrential downpour. That led to some questions for the government today from our Queen's Park Bureau Chief Colin DeMello. Colin, tell us more.
Yeah, good evening, Tracy. It seems no one was able to escape this week's downpour. Premier Doug Ford even revealed that his own property in Etobicoke took on water. His basement was flooded. But among all of the damage across the city, one building weathered that storm this week. The Ontario Science Centre, its roof, which the government claimed was at risk of imminent collapse, was unbroken by the storm. It was a torrential downpour that overwhelmed public infrastructure. Rainwater poured into Union Station and flooded the DVP. The storm seeped into Toronto City Hall and even drowned out a provincial news conference. But the Ontario Science Centre stood its ground. Did it crack? Did it collapse? What happened?
Thankfully to God, it did not. But we have staff there monitoring everything. Nothing happened, thank goodness, this time.
The Ford government shut down the tourist attraction after an engineering report said rain or snow could lead to the collapse of roofing panels. The government acknowledged that the 97 millimeters of rain this week was a test of the Science Centre's integrity.
It was, and thank God nothing happened. But again, health and safety is always the #1 priority. Thank goodness nothing happened, but what if it did?
But it didn't.
No, but you always have to be cautious.
Critics believe the structure has proven itself to be resilient and capable of being reopened to the public.
This was a record-breaking rainfall, in Toronto. There was flooding everywhere. The Science Centre roof held up.
Doesn't that bolster the idea, though, that maybe it's safe and you guys were a bit premature in closing it down?
No, not at all. I'm not chancing it. I'm not putting kids in there or people. At any given time, it could collapse.
Both the Premier and the province's infrastructure minister are adamant they're not taking a risk.
It's also the snow, right? It's the weight of the snow in the winter, which is why it had to be decommissioned.
Critics are calling for immediate action.
Open the bloody thing up right now, right here.
A decision that rests solely with the Premier.
It just doesn't make sense, not throwing good money into a bad building.
And one that he's already ruled out. Premier Doug Ford has already indicated repairing the roof of the Science Centre would cost some $500 million over 20 years, something that he's unwilling to do. Critics claim, though, that all of this is intentional. Of course, the Ford government has a plan to move the Science Centre programming down to a brand new location at Ontario Place. Reporting live at Queen's Park, I'm Colin DeMello. Tracy, back to you.
Thank you, Colin. Walmart and Costco have agreed. Well, let's check back in with our chief meteorologist, Anthony Farnell, who is live tonight at Blue Mountain. Anthony, it looks like nothing but blue skies and sunshine there as you take a ride down the mountain. Is that what's happening?
That's what's happening. And winter gondolas are fun, but you're kind of in an enclosed area surrounded by other people, some of which you know, others maybe you don't. This is different. This is fantastic. Check out the view behind me, Tracy. That is beautiful. Georgian Bay with the blues and the green of the trees, and of course the sun that is shining. And this is the open air gondola that takes you from the top to the bottom, or the bottom to the top, or in our case, around as we do this weather report. So let's get right to it, because the sun is shining after some early morning clouds. We're going to be seeing more of that, not just here at Blue, but throughout southern Ontario tomorrow and all weekend long. Now, the high temperature ranging from 24 to 26 degrees on Friday. Today was cooler than that. It's 21 right now at Pearson Airport, 26 in Thunder Bay. The heat is out west. It is going to be very hot throughout the weekend and into next week, and there are still widespread heat warnings encompassing the western 4 provinces and the Northwest Territories. And as you would expect, the jet stream way up to the north impacting Northwest Territories and Nunavut before coming back south, and with it comes this cooler, fresh air that we have around the Great Lakes. Now, high pressure in control, and that's clearing the sky out. Whatever clouds you may have in your neighborhood, well, they'll be gone in the next few hours as the sun sets, and it should be great stars tonight and a moon that is starting to get quite bright as we head towards the full moon. Here's your forecast for Friday. Sunshine everywhere. How about Saturday? Well, there is one area of concern. It's a second secondary cold front that's going to move through. So by Saturday morning, showers for Sudbury. That shower chance pushes into parts of cottage country. So even here at Blue, Muskoka, the Kawarthas, late day clouds, mostly though it's around 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and then any rain will be after dark. And that, if it's going to rain, is when you want to see it. And this is not a setup where we're going to see any flooding or anything more than a few drops, really. 9 degrees for a low in London. How about that? 12 in Toronto. This is the coolest night we have had all month of July, and then it starts to warm back up again. And over the course of the next few days, we're going to see that temperature climb back up to seasonal, which at this time of year is 27 degrees. 27 on Saturday, 26 on Sunday. And then as we go through the weekend into next week, the nice weather continues. Our next chance of rain in the GTA won't be until Wednesday, and there's a chance of thunderstorms there. And then again on Thursday. Your dog walking forecast is courtesy of well, our sunny skies, and that is Molly in Sterling. Check out this view as we head down into the village of Blue Mountain. There's Mill Pond where we were earlier. It is just a beautiful evening on the mountain. We'll be back after this.
Dog Walking Forecast is brought to you by Wren's Pets, premium pet food, treats, and toys for your pet's best life.
Appealing for donations following this week's historic storm.
Shower.
Tuesday's storm hit the agency hard. All that water, all at once. It breached the roof of the building and knocked out critical power. The result was $50,000 in loss and damage.
The temperatures within our walk-in cooler got too hot for too long a period of time for us to be able to distribute the food, the perishable food that was in those coolers. Meat, eggs, milk, cheese, our highest quality, most important, highest priority.
This means clients did not receive the kind of food they needed, and the loss comes amid a 40-year high in demand from the food bank. Some Toronto beaches are now safe to swim at again following Tuesday's torrential downpour, according to the city. Hanlan's Point, Gibraltar Point, Center Island, and Cherry beaches have all been given the green flag. Many other beaches, though, including Woodbine Beach and Bluffers Beach, are still under red flag status due to high E. coli counts. Swimming in waters with high E. coli could lead to an increased risk of ear, eye, nose, throat, and skin infections. Well, it was a sunny and comfortable day out there, not sweltering like it has been recently. With more on how our Friday is looking, here's our chief meteorologist, Anthony Farnell, who is in Blue Mountain tonight. Hi, Anthony.
Well, Tracy, it is a cooler night. We're in Blue Mountain Village. Behind me, this is Mill Pond. A few of the patios still lit and rather busy, but everybody that's out is remarking and in most cases enjoying the fact that they've had to put on long sleeves or a sweatshirt or maybe even a fleece because it is cooler, and you haven't needed that so far in July. But tonight is a different air mass thanks to a large area of high pressure, and it's going to be cool at night, at least into the weekend. The days, however, will be warm. Let's talk about it. Here's your radar satellite imagery, and currently the sky is clear. Even those areas, those parts of the province that had some clouds today, well, those clouds have dissipated, and that is why it is now cooling down through the teens. In most cases, about 2 to 5 degrees chillier tonight than it was last night at this same time. And we do have a northwest flow of air, so it's not just cooler, but there's really not much humidity around, and there won't be tomorrow. With that being said, the sky is clear and it is going to warm back up. We'll see an afternoon temperature getting up to 26 degrees in Toronto, 25 the forecast here for Collingwood, Blue Mountain. More on what to expect for the Indy this weekend as we look at your 7-day forecast. That is in just a few minutes.
Anthony, thanks so much. The Honda Indy is set for this weekend, and it comes with a major road closure. Lakeshore Boulevard is closed from
presentation of Gan Chef Buick GMC Cadillac. Look for their new dealer app available on Google Play and the iTunes App Store.
Help
Police put Canada.
Welcome back. We've had an adventurous day here at Blue Mountain, taking part in a lot of the different activities. Really, we were just playing, but we like to call it work. And it is going to be a nice day tomorrow and a fantastic weekend, not just at Blue Mountain, not just in the Georgian Bay, Kawarthas, Muskoka, Cottage Country, but also in the GTA, also for the Indy. And that takes place, of course, starting Friday, but the big race is on Sunday. So let's focus first on Friday, because I know many of you, including myself, working. I'll be back in Toronto in studio tomorrow. 24 to 27 degrees through the afternoon, not much humidity, and still we've got a west wind, but it starts to switch to the southwest, and that's the reason for the warm-up compared to this afternoon's temperature. 19 at Pearson Airport at this hour, 30 still in Saskatoon. There have been very hot conditions out west, including interior BC, Kamloops, the Kelowna, upper 30s to around 40 degrees, and the heat warnings remain in place, and that'll be the case right through the upcoming weekend. Big ridge out west, big trough in the east, hence our cooler air, but it is leaving, and as it does so, that high pressure system will move to the east coast and eventually bring in these milder temperatures, but still not much humidity. That's the difference. We're going to get back into the upper 20s this weekend as far as the temperature goes, but it's not going to feel like 40 like it did last weekend. Our Futurecast model does show this cold front up across the north, so Sudbury, North Bay could see some rain late Saturday into early Sunday morning for the Ottawa Valley. And we'll be tracking that as it falls apart and heads into the GTA. So no rain right now in the forecast Sunday for the city, but there is a possibility at least of more clouds around on that day. 9 degrees tonight in London, 12 in Toronto, 13 in Kingston. Tomorrow, after that cool early start, it definitely warms up, and nobody will be complaining about the forecast as we head through that day and into 27 on Saturday, 26 on Sunday, 27 for Monday and Tuesday, and by the middle of the week we'll actually need rain again. Can't believe I'm saying that. There is that risk of thunderstorms with a high of 24 Wednesday and again on Thursday. Your dog walking forecast tonight? Well, as you're heading out or heading to bed, know that your pup will be happy tomorrow with low humidity and lots of sunshine. Did you hear that, Molly? You can sleep tight tonight. And that is a check on your weather.